But, and it's funny, you know, Esau despised his birthright and sold it to Jacob there at one time. But now he gets upset later when he gets back. The willfulness at his old age, he was determined to pass his blessing on to Esau, despite what the Lord had said and how the boys had lived. He decided, he tried to do, they think he did this, was trying to do it secretly, you know, because when the word have, and I've studied that it seems like Isaac favored Esau, Rebekah favored Jacob. So it was like a mama's boy, daddy boy thing. And maybe because Esau was a hunter and a guy out in the field and all that, and maybe he was really interested in Esau going out and hunting because he could go out and hunt, not just to bring him something good to eat and some of the venison that he liked. But they was thinking maybe he was secretly trying to do this. He didn't get it in front of everybody. Maybe he wanted him or had him off by himself. But that wasn't the case. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. Can you believe Rebekah would do such a thing? That sweet young virgin girl that came out there so many years ago, yeah, went all them hundreds of miles to come, and then she goes to try to pull something like this, again, because there was talk about she favored, I'm going to get my names messed up somehow in this, Jacob, and Isaac favored Esau. There we go. But now, it doesn't specifically say, and you got to do this in your own mind, was she trying to, did she see maybe Esau go in and she got close over there so she could hear, or was it just a random thing that, you know, she happened to be walking by the water pitcher and heard them talking? Nobody will know. You don't know if she was intentionally spying or not. But there's a feeling that some scheming and some spying was going on here, right? She was listening in somehow. She probably didn't just casually hear it. Well, again, now she's not trusting what God said, what we just read, that there would be 2 nations and the elder would serve the younger. And she went past that. Instead, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. And I'm sure we've seen, you know, other stuff, and we've known families probably that, you know, one parent favored the one child and one favored the other, even if they weren't twins. You know, there's always, no, that's not going to happen. But at any rate, no, we're not any different. No, manipulative scheming to accomplish what she thought was God's plan. Oh, we do that all the time. You know, we try to take it into our own hands. We get, you know, like maybe we just get tired of waiting to hear from God. We decide we're going to do it and we're going to take care of it. Maybe they were waiting. I don't know. But she knew Isaac well enough to know that she could fix goat in a way that would make him think it was venison, and they'd be able to trick him. And she knew Isaac enough to know that she could do that, and she was going to do it, and he wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Okay, and thou shalt bring it to thy father, he may eat and may bless thee before his death. So there's lying, cheating, scheming. We're going to get him to bless you because I love you best, whatever. And still not the way God had it. Okay, and Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father, peradventure, will feel me, and shall seem to him, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring him a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice, and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment. Now here she's, tricky, sneaky, I tell you. She took, huh? No. And we don't know how God would have worked that out. And what should have happened is they'd have followed what God said, then Isaac would have blessed Jacob to start with. Right. And and we may talk about it some more, but remember, Esau sold his birthright to Jacob back whenever. He said he didn't want it. So, it's just, and then in the end here, he's going to want it back and wonder why he didn't do it. It's just lying, conniving, scheming. What a mess these people are in. Yeah. Yeah. No. We do it ourselves. Right. And like Rebekah wanted Jacob to have the blessing and do all that, well, it was going to be his anyway. If she'd have just waited and let the Lord do his thing, she didn't have to get in there and fiddle around and intervene in the thing. Because that's what God said back there in the other verse in 25:23. Right. But at any rate, so let's see, where'd I get to? And so she took clothes, she took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau. So she took Esau's clothes and put them on Jacob, her younger son, and she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son. So Jacob, true to his name, he was happy to go along with the plan, but what was he worried about? What was it? He's doing a corrupt and bad and nasty thing, and he's just worried about whether Isaac will recognize him being Esau and then curse him instead of blessing him. That's the only thing he was worried about. I know. Just tells you about us godly folks, how we can get caught up in trying to take care of God's business our way. Happens all the time. But have you ever noticed if you were telling a little lie, you have to tell another one? Right. Gotcha. And we get to a point like they did, they weren't considering what was right or wrong. They were just thinking about what was going to work. And she knew that if she got Jacob to go in there acting like Esau and Isaac would bless him, that was going to work. That was her only concern. So Jacob got over his fear of being recognized, and he carried out the plan. He went and got the goats for her to fix. So Rebekah was manipulating two people here now, right? Jacob and Isaac. So she was tricking on Isaac. So each point in this drama is in a man-centered wisdom and energy. It's all about me and mine, and they're not worried about that. And see, even back when Esau agreed to Isaac's plan to give him the birthright, he disregarded his previous promise to allow Jacob to have it. So when Isaac told Esau to go get the game so he could bless him, Esau should have said, "No, you can't do that. I gave my birthright to Jacob." Right? So he was in the mix too because, well, he's forgot about that, and I'll go do it anyway. And I'll get my blessing or whatever. I'll get my birthright. But it was pointed out that maybe it's because as time had gone on, that birthright came to be more materialistic than spiritual, like it should have been. As we want more and more stuff, and they see more and more stuff, he was thinking that would be more of a materialistic thing that it would be. So all of them were plotting against each other and against God. It's amazing. The whole family, they're plotting against Ori. The whole story reflects no credit upon any of the people that were concerned. And it's like they seem to regard this blessing as magical, something detached from God's wisdom and will. It didn't have nothing to do with God. It was just something they were going to do and take care of on their own. And Esau could have received the blessing from Isaac 100 times, but it only mattered to God that it was done right. It didn't mean a thing. Okay, so we're moving on. And he came to his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here am I. Who art thou, my son?" And Jacob said unto his father, "I am Esau thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me." And Isaac said unto his son, "How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son?" And he said, "Because the Lord thy God brought it to me." And Isaac said, "Yeah." The Lord your God had brought it to me. Let's see, wait a minute. Yeah. And then Isaac said unto Jacob, "Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not." So he kind of was suspicious something was going on. Yeah, his voice. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, "The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau." So he did know it was Jacob's voice. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's hands, so he blessed him. And he said, "Art thou my very son Esau?" And he said, "I am." Look at there, big fat lie. And he said, "Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee." And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, "Come near me now, and kiss me, my son." So there we go. It was just a big mess. Jacob did not hesitate to give credit to God as part of his deception. Isn't that amazing, what we just read back up there? He said, "He found it so quickly, my son." And he says, "Because the Lord, your God, gave it to me." He made it happen that quick. Just amazing. Just what a liar. Just absolutely a liar. He justified it to himself by saying his sinful conduct acted toward the fulfillment of the promise of God. Just unreal. And even after Isaac repeatedly asked if he was his son, he still maintained the fact that he was Esau, even though he really was not. And another thing, they said Isaac probably believed that his son Jacob would lie to him like that, because he knew a difference in the two boys, I'm sure. Everything. Right? Yes, absolutely. I'm out. Well, see, Adam and Eve even schemed and did this thing together, trying to cover themselves, being selfish of their own mind in their own way. Then it started out that way. And yeah, it's been a mess from the very beginning. There's no difference. All this mess was going on all back then. Yeah. I won't argue that. I mean, look at Rebecca. Look what a big scheme Rebecca came up with. My goodness. Getting goat skins, covering his hands, and doing all that work and all that detail. All over material things and money. Exactly right. It was who? The serpent's fault. Okay. Yes, the devil's fault. No doubt. He's the one behind it all. Yeah. Well, I know it, But, I was thinking, and you think through all this, and one of the things that stands out to me, and people say, why does this happen? Why does that happen? Why do them guys fly them planes into the Trade Center and all that stuff? 2 words, free will. God gave each one of us free will. And one time I thought, I wonder if God said, man, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But no, I'm sure he did it with every intent and purpose, because that's the way he's going to get the true believers, the people that love him, is through that free will. Yes, we can do what we want to, but man. Yeah. Oh, I agree. Yeah. At the time, you think that's exactly the right thing to do. But as time goes on, as you mature and grow spiritually, you find out maybe that wasn't exactly right. Abraham, yeah. Yeah. Why don't we believe God in his word? I don't know. Well, they believed it. I mean, I believe it, but I don't always do exactly what I should do. Has there been times I did stuff without seeking God first? Yes, there has. And I should have. But I wouldn't think so. Well, I don't think I would either, but, as long as the devil's around, you never know what you might do. That's right. Don't ever think you can get one on the devil or he can't get you. And if you've ever thought that, you better rethink it. Because he can get anybody. Yeah, he got Peter, and he denied Christ 3 times. Well, I don't understand either. They were closer to God than we'll ever get. God spoke to them, sometimes appeared to them. And still, they did all this mess. No. Is it time? Do I need to stop here? Where did I get to? Let's see. So then let's do 27 and 29. And he came near and kissed him and smelled the smell of his raiment. He smelt Esau's clothes and blessed him. He'd already touched his hands and the hair on his neck. See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. So there Isaac gave Esau his blessing. Jacob. He gave it to Jacob. So he blessed him now as the spiritual head of the family. And he had the right not to pass on this blessing related to the covenant of Abraham. So he received his blessing and was able to pass it on to his descendants. He said, may God give you the dew of heaven. The words of the blessing were filled with pictures of the Lord's bounty. He said, just be bountiful. Let the Lord supply you and all that you need. And cursed be anybody that curses you. It's important to see it wasn't the bestowal of these words on Jacob that made him blessed. Jacob was blessed because God chose him long before. Back again to that same verse. The elder shall serve the younger. Jacob was supposed to get this all the time. Instead, Jacob was blessed because, God chose him from the beginning. What mattered is that the Lord, when he said that, he said, the older shall serve the younger. And he said it not ask master. Isaac said to be master over all your brethren. He would serve them all. Okay? So, let's see, who's next week? Marvin? Pick up in verse 30. tell the rest of this drama that we have here. It's just an amazing story. And again, like you said, how in the world do we keep messing God's plans up all the time? You know, a precious thing is this. All this sin, I mean, it's continuous sin. But
Why are you mad now? What have I done?